KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota is serving the central South Dakota community and beyond with a great selection of used vehicles. Local trades and program vehicles are available. New Toyotas and new Fords are arriving and selling before they even hit the lot. So don't wait. Stop in and find out what's coming. If you've been thinking about ordering a new Ford, stop in and sit down with one of our sales specialists today. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com.
Hey, let's go. We're going to be late for the baseball game.
I know, my air conditioner is letting me down like our middle reliever last game. I have to give someone a call.
That's easy. Call in the closer, AirTech Heating and Cooling. They use Coleman brand heaters and air conditioners, and like our team's closer, AirTech with Coleman products give us quality and dependability we can trust to win the game.
You're right. I'm going to the bullpen. AirTech, I need you.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back here, and it's set for first pitch between the Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders in game number 2. John Winkler here on this Saturday afternoon as Spencer Kelly is on the mound for the Pierre Governors, as he will deal with the Roosevelt starting lineup that looks like this. Ben Ersfeld, the shortstop, leading off. Dane Mediger, the second baseman, batting second. Jackson Grevengo, the DH, batting third. Marcus Phillips, the right fielder, batting cleanup. Braden Byram, the third baseman, batting fifth. Jamie Legg, the catcher, batting sixth. Isaac Adam, the first baseman, batting seventh. Hayden Brown, the center fielder, will bat 8th, and Danny Lesher, the left fielder, will bat 9th for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Spencer Kelly, this will be his third start, 5th appearance of the season, 7 and a 2/3 innings so far. He's given up 13 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's hit 2 men, 7.30 ERA, and a 2.217 whip so far on the season. Roosevelt took game number 1, 12-2. Even though we played all 7 innings, it was a 12-2 game. And we are underway here in game number 2 as the first pitch is taken inside for ball number 1. As we are started at 2:39 here on this Saturday afternoon. A little bit of maybe some drizzle around the area. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is outside for ball 2. And the count is now 2-0. 74 degrees here in Pierre. Northwest winds at 23 miles an hour. That one's popped up, foul, and out of play. And the count's now 2-1. Kelly started against Sturgis and also against Brandon Valley. That was way back, what feels like way back, just about a month ago. Started game number 2 and then also started on Friday against that Brandon Valley team on that weekend where they played 3 games in those 2 days. Count is 3-1. Here to the leadoff man, Ben Ersfeld. Ersfeld went 1 for 4 in game number 1. That was over for a strike, and the count is full at 3-2. Dexter Payne is the other pitcher for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, as he gets the start in game number 2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Climbs the ladder, pops it up, foul territory, right side, and it will land foul, bounce out of play. And we'll do it again here at 3-2. With as many guys that have left here from game 1 to game 2, Spencer Lettler out with a knee injury. Spencer Easlin also out with a leg injury after being hit with a comebacker early in the game on Wednesday. There's a ground ball up the middle. Keenholz will field it short. Throw to first is in time. The leadoff man retired. Here to open up the ball game, top of the first. We'll bring up Dane Mediger, the second baseman. We'll see how long of a leash that Kelly has. The 2 times that he started, he has gone through the order, and by the time that he came back around, he was relieved from the ball game. First pitch over for strike 1 to Dan Mediger, who was the number 9 man in the first game, now number 2 in the order here in game number 2. He went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Walked, was hit by a pitch. Swings at the 0-1 pitch out towards right center field. Now he's going to get down for a base hit. Brewer is able to cut it off out in right field, and he will keep Mediger over for a single. And a good play there for Matthew Brewer out in right. And it's a 1-out single. Stalley is out in center. Kruger and Stalley out in left. Kruger in center. Brewer in right. Lyons at third. Keenholz at short. Hanson at second. Nedved at first. Hunsley behind the plate. With Spencer Kelly on the mound. 1 on and 1 out. First pitch to number 3 hitter, and Jackson Grevengode is taken for strike 1. Grevengode went 0 for 4 with a hat trick in game 1. 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. And he also grounded out. That one's grounded foul down the third base line. It's now 0-2. Ground ball would be nice on the infield somewhere. With Hanson at second. Playing second here in game number 2. He's moved all the way around the infield. You've seen him play at short, second, and at third. And also play the outfield. 0-2 pitch. That one's popped foul and out of play. So we'll do it again here at 0-2. And that's the versatility of what a lot of the Pierre Governors have had. You pretty much have 2 utility guys with Hanson and Kaiser who can play pretty much anywhere on the field if needed. Both Kaiser and Hanson have played the outfield and pretty much have played all around the infield. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Grevengode. And there's 2 down here in the top of the first. And it brings up Marcus Phillips, the right fielder. Phillips in game number 1, he did not get a base hit, but he only had 1 official at bat because he walked 3 times and then struck out looking. And his only official at bat, and that was in the 6th inning, where it was a 7-run 6th inning for Roosevelt. Pickoff attempt and back in safely, standing up is Mediger, who got a big couple steps lead over at first base. Kelly comes set from the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Phillips. That is just a bit outside. And taken for ball 1 to Marcus Phillips. 1-0 pitch, and Phillips drives it out towards right field, down the line, and will it stay fair, and it will land off the wall foul. And a long strike against Phillips. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Base umpire, I think you might have said something to Spencer Kelly, and if he did, could have been that, make sure you come completely set, because Kelly's been very close to coming set and pitching right away, not coming completely set. Could get called for a balk. Comes set here, 1-1 pitch. Curveball that drops in for a strike, and it's now 1-2. And now we get a new baseball. That was very odd. It threw a strike, and the umpire says, "Here, let's give you a new baseball." And maybe Spencer Kelly had asked for a new baseball, but threw a nice curveball that dropped in for a strike, and now he gets a new ball to throw here with a 1-2 count with 2 outs at the top of the first inning. 1-2 pitch, another curveball that hits Phillips. And it's now runners at first and second with 2 away, as Braden Byram will come to the plate. Byram went 0 for 3 with a hat trick. He was hit by a pitch in his 4th trip to the plate, but he struck out swinging, looking, and swinging. First pitch, he chops that one foul, and it's 0-1. So a single and a hit by pitch. We got runners at first and second with 2 outs here at the top of the first. Governors now at 10-9 on the season, looking to get to 11-9, which would be a 50-point win against this Roosevelt team. 0-1 pitch. That one will come in and hits Byram. So it's back-to-back guys that have been hit by a pitch. And the bases are now loaded with 2 away. And it brings up the catcher, Jamie Legg. Both times he's been hit by a curveball. So here is Jamie Legg with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here in the top of the first inning. Jamie Legg in game number 1 went 1 for 4, but had a 3 RBI double. So the last time he came to the plate with the bases loaded, he cleared them. And he gave that lead up to 9-2. So Legg's got the opportunity again, but Spencer Kelly trying to get a scoreless first inning. First pitch, and Legg will sky it up in the infield. Lincoln Keenels will call for it inside the infield grass. He'll make the catch, and Spencer Kelly works out of a bases-loaded jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base. After half inning, Roosevelt was scoreless, and the Pierre Governors coming to the plate. You're listening to the Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified. Call True Green, 882-0643.
Bottom of the first inning, Pierre Governors and Roosevelt Rough Riders tied 0-0. As it is for the Pierre Governors, Matthew Hanson to lead things off, the second baseman. George Stalley, the left fielder, about second. Lincoln Keenels, the shortstop, will bat third. Gary Nedved, the first baseman, batting fourth. Grayson Hunsley, the catcher, will bat fifth. Johnny Lyons, the third baseman, batting sixth. Matthew Brewer, the right fielder, will bat seventh. Spencer Kelly, the pitcher, batting eighth. And Brecken Kruger, the center fielder, will bat ninth as they go against the lefty on the mound, which is Dexter Payne, who was the first baseman in game number 1, now on the mound for game number 2, as the sun trying to peek its way out here at Hyde Stadium, and mostly cloudy throughout the doubleheader, or at least through the first game. But here's Matthew Hanson to lead things off. Hanson had just one at-bat, and he drew a walk, so he didn't have an official at-bat. But he drew a walk in his lone plate appearance in game number 1. Here's the first pitch to Hanson. It's over for strike one. Hanson has had a very busy week in Mitchell on Monday for tennis, here for baseball Tuesday and Wednesday. Then played a lot of tennis on Thursday, which included 3 duels, so he played twice in each of them, 6 matches of tennis, and then another 6 matches of tennis on Friday, including end up placing second in flight 1 of that Pierre tennis tournament. And he didn't get finished until after the baseball game was done. 2-1 pitch. That one's popped up on the right side. That will get out of play. And it's now 2-2. That then now includes here a doubleheader of baseball again today. You thought maybe that Hanson and Kelly would be able to come to the, at least be in the dugout. That one's taken for strike 3. And Hanson will be tagged out as the Catcher did not make the catch on the inside edge. And there's one down here to open up the bottom of the first inning. So here's George Stalley, the left fielder. Stalley went 0 for 4 in game number 1. 2 strikeouts, a fly out to right field, and a ground out. First pitch is outside for ball 1. The Governors struck out too many times in game number 1, including 10 strikeouts through 5 innings for Jack Radel. Count as 1-1. Turned out to be 13 total strikeouts in the ball game. 1-1 pitch. That's upstairs, and it's now 2-1. And you divide that into to 3 outs per inning. That was 4 innings that you didn't put the ball in play at all. That one will catch the bottom of the zone at the knees, and the count's now 2-2. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Inside, and the count is now full at 3-2. Stalley trying to be the first base runner here for the Governors. Here's the 3-2. And Stalley will rip it out towards center field. Going back on it is Brown. He'll make the catch. And there's 2 down. It is Lesher out in left field. Brown in center, Phillips in right. Byram at third, Ersfeld at short, Mediger at second, Adam at first, and Leg behind the plate with Payne on the mound. Lincoln Keenel's the shortstop with 2 away, nobody on. First pitch right there for strike 1. Keenel's in game number 1 went 0 for 1, struck out swinging, walked the other 2 times. That one's upstairs for a ball, and it's now 1-1. 1-1 pitch is popped up, going out into shallow right field. The second baseman and Mediger will make the catch, and that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Payne in the first. We head to the top of the second. No score between Pierre and Roosevelt. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
If you're in the market for a new home, call my mom or grandma, Kathy. Sunshine Properties is my mom and my grandma.
When you're ready to buy or sell, rely on us, Kathy Sunshine Properties. We'll help you to buy or sell with confidence. When you're out and about, stop and see us at our new location on the corner of Capitol and Central here in Pierre.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
As we head to the top of the second inning, the Pierre Governors, they are tied 0-0 with the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Isaac Adam, Hayden Brown, and Danny Lesher be the first 3 hitters. Spencer Kelly was able to work out the bases loaded jam in the first inning of game number 2. And Isaac Adam will get his second plate appearance. He walked in a pinch hit for Braden Byram in the 7th inning. In game number 1, as he hits now here to open up the second inning here in game number 2. First pitch from Spencer Kelly. It's taken for strike 1. So Kelly was able to work around a single and then hitting 2 guys to retire the side and strand the bases loaded. As the 0-1 pitch is going to be outside. It's now 1-1. Governor's key to success in this game is going to be getting the first out. Not allowing the leadoff man to reach base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a check swing, and it's a full swing, and it's now 1-2. Because in the first game, the leadoff man reached base from the second inning on. End up being a 12-run game. That one's skied out to center field. Brecken Kruger backpedaling. He'll make the catch and leadoff man. There is retired. Second straight inning, the leadoff man's been retired. And it will bring up now Hayden Brown, the center fielder, who did not hit. He did pitch in game number 1. But to go back to that point, innings 2 through 7, the leadoff man reached base. And the Governors were able to get around that in the 2nd through 4th inning. But the 3rd, or the 5th, 6th, and 7th, there were crooked numbers up on the board on each of them. 3 runs in the 5th, 7 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. The first pitch misses for ball 1 to Hayden Brown. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a check swing. Back to Kelly. Goes off of his glove. Over for Lyons. Bare hands. A throw to first was not picked out by Gary Nedved, but I don't think it was going to matter. I think he was going to be safe either way. Then it turns into an infield single for Hayden Brown. That nearly turned into a spectacular play. Well, Spencer Kelly's upset, thinking that he should have had that for a 1-3 put out, but it almost turned into a 1-5-3 and a top 10 play nominee. But either way, I think that Hayden Brown was safe over at first base. That one will bounce in for ball 1 and should be scored a base hit for Brown, and as Danny Lesher will step to the plate. Kelly comes set for the stretch. 1-0 pitch comes inside, and the count's now 2-0. It's the second hit of the ball game for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Number 9 man in the order. Danny Lesher walked in his pinch hit role in the 7th inning. In game number 1, the count's now 3-0. That one missed well upstairs. In a game that, hey, you get that ground ball off the glove, throw him out at first. A different scenario with nobody out, nobody on, and 2 away as the 3-0 pitch is over, and it's now 3-1. No other games have gone final, well, except for a game between Washington and Stevens. That was a 23-3 final. But so far, nothing of a final yet. As that one's out towards left field. Coming in is Stalley. He'll make the catch. There's 2 down. And it's back to the top of the order for Ben Ersfeld. And again, this might be the longest outing for Spencer Kelly, as he has not really gone through an order more than one time. Harrisburg leading Mitchell right now. Mitchell leading Harrisburg, I believe, 9-4. Their 2 game changers have 2 completely different scores. As that one's out towards center field, Brecken Kruger is right there. And Spencer Kelly's got another 0 through 2 innings. No runs, 1 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base after an inning and a half. The Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders tied 0-0. You listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. You'll find a great selection of quality new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take good care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and body shop, along with a friendly financing team that'll do their best to get you into your next new or pre-owned vehicle with financing that fits your budget. Wagner Auto is your local, family-owned, full-service dealership in Pierre. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
As we welcome you back here at the bottom of the second inning, the Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders tied 0-0. 4, 5, and 6 for the Governors. That is Gary Nedved, Grayson Hunsley, and Johnny Lyons be the first 3 hitters here in the bottom of the second inning. Joining me up here in the press box, Bennett Dean, as he back home from college, but also you're starting to get ready for the post-state senior legion team and also maybe coaching a little bit as well. As the first pitch to Nedved is swing and a miss. How's it going, Bennett?
Pretty good, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have you up here and put the headset on for a little bit. The 0-1 pitch, that one will bounce in. It's now 1-1. What, how has getting back into baseball shape been going for you?
It's been going pretty well. Aaron Booth and I have been back since Tuesday. We've been throwing every day. He obviously played at Dakota State this season, redshirted because of his elbow injury, but he's starting to throw again, and I'm starting to throw again for the first time since, the fall. I threw a little bit this fall, but yeah, I mean, baseball's been going great. Getting back into baseball shape's not too difficult, so it's been going pretty well.
There's a swing and a miss by Gary Nedved. He strikes out, and there's one down here in the bottom of the second as Grayson Hunsley now will come to the plate. As you two and then Isaac Pollock be the three super seniors. As you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. And as Hunsley will swing at the first pitch and swing and miss for strike one. There hasn't been a whole lot of super seniors for post-state for the last couple of years. I mean, there were two last year, Jack Van Camp and Cade Hinkle, but prior to that, they're really, Landon Badger might be the last guy before those two. So now to have three, I mean, you guys get a little bit of a kind of a fun leadership role for all these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a blast this summer. I know one of the reasons I came back to play, not only because I had that extra year of eligibility, but I see this team's got some talent. And obviously you got the athletes and the special athletes like Lincoln Keenholz, and along with guys like Jaden Wiebe, Gary Nedved, and guys like Jed Zabel. I mean, they've all been playing really well this spring, and you see the talent on this team has. So, I'm just hoping this summer that me, Booth, and Isaac can come in and, provide some leadership to this team and, help this team win some more games.
Hunsley swings and misses at the 2-2 pitch, and he strikes out, and there's now two down here in the bottom of the second. Johnny Lyons, the third baseman, will step to the plate. And as we sit here May 7th, the Saturday after Memorial Day, whether the Governors go all the way to the state championship, whether they are done on the 21st, doesn't matter. That Tuesday after the Memorial Day, the day after Memorial Day, is the first game of the season. As that one's flown out towards left center field, the left fielder in left field will call and make the catch to retire the side here in the top of the third inning. Bennett Dean's joining us here in the press box, and he's not going to be done quite yet. That was too quick of an inning to let him go. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We will head to the top of the third, still scoreless between Pierre and Roosevelt. You listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Comtech is a total technology solutions provider. Comtech is ready to get technology to work for you, not against you. Stop into Comtech to see our selection of TVs, home audio systems, computers, and security systems. They have brand names like Samsung, Bose, Sonos, and Lenovo, just to name a few. Comtech has what you're looking for in technology. Stop in at 1601 Lowell Avenue in Pierre or visit their website at comtechplus.com. Comtech, your trusted technology solutions provider.
Dr. Nick and Chelsea Redeman at Floss Dentistry in Pierre is family owned and operated. They have modern practice with skill and caring staff. They have same-day availability. Floss Dentistry is located at 603 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre with hours Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5. Give them a call at 605-224-2161 and don't put off that scheduled cleaning any longer. Floss Dentistry, 603 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre, or give Dr. Nick and Chelsea Redeman a call at 605-224-2161. Back here, top of the third inning, no score between the Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. John Winkler alongside Bennett Dean in the booth with me here right now. It's 2, 3, and 4. Dane Meniger, Jackson Grevengode, and Marcus Phillips for the Roosevelt Rough Riders as Spencer Kelly is on the mound working into his third inning. So are you going to be pitching again this summer, Bennett?
Yeah, I'll pitch a little bit. I talked to White. I don't know when I talked to White, when I told him I was officially coming back, but I think it was probably December or January, but I told White, I'll do whatever he needs me to do. If he wants me to play first base again like I did last summer, if he wants me to play right field, I'll do whatever it takes to help this team win.
I was going to say, I thought maybe you're going to say something, and you and White had talked about it. Also, I get a text message from Coach White. But wait a second here. I don't believe he was here. I think he was listening or watching earlier on YouTube. He traded a couple texts back and forth. Here's Dean Mediger to lead things off here in the top of the third inning. First pitch swinging, ground ball right side, fielded by Hanson at second. The throw to first is in time, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the third. And you get a couple of guys, and for you, playing first base, whether it's first base, DH, or play the outfield, and you look at a guy like Gary Nedved, who will be able to play third base a little bit, play first base, he could DH. There's a lot of versatility between a lot of you guys around.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even looking at a guy like Johnny Lyons, who had a great day at the plate yesterday. I mean, it just provides. Not only will the team this summer be very good talent-wise, top to bottom, but we're also going to have a lot of depth, and we can put a lot of guys in a lot of positions. I mean, White's going to be doing what he does best and kind of mix and match in lineups and see what works best.
A 1 pitch. There's a line shot down the line. That will land fair. It is a base hit. Will he try and go for 2? Groven Gold will stay at first base, and George Stalley did another good job of getting over the ball out in left field and taking away a potential double from Groven Gold. And it brings up Marcus Phillips. Trevor Rounds is over at first base now for the Governors. So he's in the ball game for Gary Nedved. So there's 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. And it's Marcus Phillips, who I think, as there's a pickoff over to first base. I think it's Matthew Brewer over at first base, not Trevor Rounds, unless he's wearing number 16. Matthew Brewer is playing first base. Rounds is out in right field. So Rounds did come into the game for Nedved, but he went out to right field, and Brewer is over at first base. I think you could probably say Marcus Phillips might be one of the better athletes in the state here in South Dakota.
I most certainly agree with that statement. I mean, you saw obviously what he did on the basketball court this winter and leading Roosevelt to another state championship, and obviously committed to Iowa Western to play baseball. So you can definitely see he's a very well-rounded athlete and a really good baseball player.
First pitch is over for strike 1 to Phillips. We haven't been able to really see him swing the bat very much. He's walked 4 times, and he struck out looking the other time, so he has not put the ball in play so far in this ball game. He was hit by a pitch in his first trip to the plate. Here's the 0-1. Runner takes off. It's inside. The throw to second is wide, but Hanson is able to glove it up. And it's a stolen base for Grevengode. He's on at second with 1 out here in the top of the third inning. How about Spencer Kelly so far? Not pitching for the Pierre Governors in the spring of 2019. Obviously did not in 2020 because of COVID. Then 2021 did not play. And now coming back here, and he's been a huge addition to this Governor team.
He really has. I mean, he's provided some really good innings for this Governor team so far. That's really needed some guys to step up on the pitching side of things, and he's been one of those guys. One of the guys that Spencer reminds me of is kind of like a Kyle Hendricks and almost Isaac Pollock type, where he's not gonna blow you away with his fastball, but he's gonna pound the zone, he's gonna throw strikes, and he's gonna throw 3 pitches that move.
1-2 pitch is popped up out in right field. Trevor Rounds going over to the line. He'll backpedal. He'll make the catch, and tagging from second to third will be Grevengode. And now there's a runner on third with 2 outs here at the top of the third inning. And that will bring up Braden Byram, who was hit by a pitch in his first trip to the plate. And Spencer Kelly trying to get another 0 on the board for the Pierre Governors.
This would be a big out for Kelly if he could get it here. Leave that guy on third base and get this Governor offense into the dugout, get the sticks going.
Again, Bennett Dean joining me here in the press box at Hyatt Stadium. First pitch, swing and a miss. And pitch in the dirt. Good pitch there from Kelly as Byram swings through it. Again, he was hit by a pitch in his first trip to the plate. Runner on third with 2 away here in the top of the third inning. And you're also coaching some Legion baseball, coaching 14U?
Yep, coaching the 14s this summer. Had went to their practices Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Obviously haven't worked with.
Line shot to Lyons. He makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We're going to continue that conversation here in the bottom of the third inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 2.5, the Pierre Governors and Roosevelt Rough Riders still scoreless. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds and Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds and Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
Bottom of the third inning, no score between the Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. John Winkler alongside Bennett Dean right now here at Hyde Stadium, as it is going to be for the Governors in the third inning. 7-8-9, Matthew Brewer, Spencer Kelly, and Brecken Kruger, the first three hitters. As Matthew Brewer now the first baseman for Pierre. Get back to the conversation. You're coaching the 14U. You're the assistant coach, head coach?
Assistant coach, yeah. I mean, just because, our head coach, Christian Solers, seems like a great guy. Seems like he knows a lot about the game. But, with me playing this summer for the Legion team again, it would have been a little difficult for me to be a head coach of the team. So maybe next summer I can be a head coach for one of the levels.
First pitch is upstairs to Matthew Brewer for ball one. Good to see a lot of post-state alum coming back and coaching and still being a part of the post-state program. I think Jack Van Camp was also a assistant coach last year.
Yeah, River Iverson's back.
River Iverson, yeah. And because he was the head coach, Iverson was, I believe, as that one's fouled out of play, and it's now 2-1 to Brewer.
Yeah, him and Elliott Life, River and Elliott Life are coaching the 15-16 team this summer, so that should be another good duo for that 15-16 team.
That's a interesting combo for the post-state program. There's a strike called to Matthew Brewer. I mean that all in good fun. River and Elliott were both are two good guys, but we had a lot of fun over the couple of summers. There's a swing and a miss by Brewer, pitch in the dirt, throw to first is in time, and that is the fourth strikeout now of the ball game for the starting pitcher and Dexter Payne. There's one down here in the bottom of the third inning, and it brings up Spencer Kelly, who will get his first swing in the varsity opportunity. He did have a couple at-bats, a couple of plate appearances in the JV game on Wednesday against the Stevens Raiders, and he swings to the first pitch, and he tried to make it 1-0 on that first pitch swing, and he swings through it. It's 0-1.
Hey, if you're a pitcher and you get those one or two ABs, might as well swing for the fences. You don't have anything to lose.
As it counts 1-1, and you go back to last summer, Jack Van Camp, I think he had one at-bat, and he was the pitcher only. He was never going to hit, and he got one at-bat, and all three of his swings, they weren't a two-strike swing at any point. He was swinging for the fences, and why not? As Kelly gets a piece of that one and fouls it back, and it's now 2-2.
Well, I'm pretty sure the summer of 2020, the COVID summer, I think JVC was second on the team in home runs that summer, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he had at least 2 home runs. One was a grand slam. Might have even had 3 home runs. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That one will bounce in. It's now 3-2.
Spencer Kelly's shown a really good approach at the plate so far. Other than that first swing where he kind of swung out of his shoes a little bit. He's worked a full count, lefty on lefty. That's a tough matchup.
3-2 pitch, and Kelly fights it off and stays alive. And a big smile from Kelly over to the dugout. And where he's sitting at number 8 in the order, he's basically, if you get on base, it's a bonus for Brecken Kruger to come to the plate, and he draws the walk. And Spencer Kelly is on base. On-base percentage of 1,000. Brady Getz will come in and run for Kelly. So technically, Getz would be a guy that he will not probably come and play the field, but he's a guy that could play the field if needed. But he is courtesy running for Spencer Kelly, the pitcher. So now here's Brecken Kruger with 1 on and 1 out. What a combo. You get Kelly up to the plate and Brady Getz to run.
And that's one of the things that would be fun about being a PO. You don't have to worry about swinging the stick that much. When you get your chances, you can go up there, just have some fun. And, even with the guys going to the football combine today, you see someone like Brady Getz run the bases. And hey, I don't think Brady would have ever thought he would be running the bases for a pitcher this season. But he's out there doing it.
Count is 1-1 to Brecken Kruger. You basically have to, if you're a pitcher only, like Getz and Kelly are, if you ever get a chance to swing, you basically treat it like a Bartolo Colon situation. Just try and hit a home run, and if you don't, everybody will enjoy watching you try and swing anyway.
Exactly.
Count is 1-2 to Brecken Kruger. One on, one out.
Like I was talking to Isaac yesterday, he said he hopes he gets one AB this summer, and he goes, no more, no less, but I'm just going to swing and swing as hard as I can. So
there's a ground ball to the third baseman. Byram tried to backhand it. It went off the foot, and it goes down as an error. And it's runners at first and second here with one away. And it brings up the top of the order in Matthew Hanson. And now the Governors, with a base hit, could get their first lead of the doubleheader here as we play in the bottom of the third inning.
All right, John, I got to ask you this. Which home run from a pitcher was more memorable, Bartolo Colon or Aaron Booth last year against 22?
That was a difficult one, as Hanson cued it off the end of the bat, and it's 0-1. I think because I witnessed it in person, I got to say Aaron Booth's home run. If it's just in general, probably Bartolo Colon, because I feel like Aaron Booth got a better chance of hitting home runs than Bartolo Colon. Hanson tried to bunt his way on. He missed it, and it's now 0-2. But the fact that it went over the wall, kind of came back, nobody knew if it was a home run. The ball got thrown around, and Booth standing on second base by the time it finally is called a home run. Then he's slapping his chest and having some fun out there. As Hanson grounds the 0-2 pitch, back up the middle, step on the bag at second for one, back to first. It's a double play, and it ends the inning here in the bottom of the third inning. So as quickly as the Governors had a runner in scoring position, it goes as a 4-3 double play, and the inning comes to an end here in the bottom of the third inning. Stick around for another inning, will you, Bennett?
Yeah, I will, most definitely.
All right. We head to the top of the fourth. That was no runs, no hits, one error, and one man left on base. 3 complete, no score. Pierre Governors and Roosevelt Rough Riders tied 0-0. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At the Y, we're more than a gym. We're a cause-driven charitable organization nurturing the potential of every youth, adult, and senior in our community. From advocacy to childcare, disease prevention to athletics, swim lessons to safe spaces, our mission ensures that everyone, regardless of their financial situation, can participate in the services that we offer at the Y. We invite you to stop in and check out our youth sports, summer camps, group exercise classes, swim lessons, and so much more. Discover your Y at the Milwaukee Family YMCA in Pierre, where we are for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
As we welcome you back here, top of the fourth inning, no score between the Pierre Governors and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. John Winkler alongside Bennett Dean as he is joining us for what would be the fourth half inning now, maybe third half inning, I don't know anymore. First pitch is missing for ball one to Jamie Legg, 6, 7, and 8. As Legg is 0 for 1. Popped out a mile high to the shortstop in Keenels. 1-0 pitch. That one's outside. It's now 2-0. You reminded me during the break that you were the guy that was on base when Aaron Booth hit his home run last year. And the craziness of that play, you dove headfirst back into third because the ball basically came back into play.
Yeah, because if I remember right, I think the ball hit off the foul pole.
Yeah, that's right.
And so everyone, I thought it was a home run right away. So I think if I remember right, I started going into a little bit of a jog, and then the ball came back in play. So when I see the ball come back in play, I start picking up my speed a little bit more. And I ended up diving head first back into third because Coach Nas was coaching third that day and held me up. And after I dove back into third, I look over at the field ump and he's signaling home run. So just a chaotic series of events.
And only could happen with Aaron Booth at the plate too. Nobody else could be out to the plate and have that happen. A 4-pitch walk to Jamie Legg. So he is on to open things up here in the top of the fourth inning.
And John, like you said, when Booth hit his home run last year, I don't think there was a better celebration out of any of the home runs that we hit last year as a team than when Aaron Booth was rounding second. He just kept pounding his chest.
That was one of the best moments of the 2021 season. There was a lot of good moments, but that was one of the best. Well, okay, obviously the best moment was the walk-off home run in the state tournament. That was the best moment of the season. I don't think there's anybody that could disagree with me. As the 1-0 pitch, that one will catch the corner. It's now 1-1. But that was during the regular season. That was probably the best moment.
Yeah, I would agree. That was definitely a moment. Well, especially just like us last year. I mean, we beat Post 22. I think 2 out of the 3 times we played them last year. So, every time you can come away with a series and season win against 22 is definitely proves that you had a very good team that year.
The 1-1 pitch was taken for a strike, and the runner Jordan Kisner, who's running for leg, stole second. The throw was a little bit offline, so Kisner was in safely, and the count is now 1-2 to Isaac Adam, who flew out to the center fielder in his first trip to the plate. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Misses upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. Now this year, the state tournament for the Legion will be out in Rapid City, out at 22's new field. How was it to play on that field last year?
It was super nice field. I mean, obviously 22, they have the resources and have the money to put in. I think they put in $5 million. The ground's super nice, all turf field, but the lighting, I had not an issue, but I had a little trouble seeing balls, especially in that second game of that doubleheader last year. I had some trouble seeing balls in the air just because the lights, they get caught up in the lights, and the lights out at 22's field aren't the greatest. So, other than the lighting being an issue, it was super nice field.
It was a base hit by Isaac Adam as he went out to left center field and scored the game's first run for Roosevelt. Spencer Kelly talking to the field umpire right now.
Is he trying to appeal?
I think he's trying to appeal. He's trying to say he missed the plate. So I think he's got to get on the rubber, then step off, and then throw it home. And there he will step on the home plate, and he is safe.
Not a bad decision by Spencer Kelly.
If he thought he saw that the runner didn't touch home, then why not give it a shot? The worst that happens is just that. Well, okay, the worst that happens could have happened what happened last night, where they throw the ball away and another run comes in to score. There's a fly ball to shallow center field. Coming in is Kruger, not going to be able to make the catch. And Hayden Brown gets a one-out single. There's going to be a no-out single, and it's now first and second here for Roosevelt. They are in business here in the top of the fourth as they've taken a 1-0 lead.
John, I thought exactly that when Spencer stepped off. When Grayson Hunsley had to jump, I thought he might have overthrown him a little bit. But luckily Grayson was able to get up there and catch it and try the appeal to home.
And, of course, it's just a little bit different when you step off and throw it home for a small appeal play, as the first pitch misses outside for ball 1 to Danny Lesher, the number 9 hitter. He flew out to left field in his first trip, number 9 man in the order.
I'm just going to say this, John. I've been really impressed with Spencer Kelly today. Not only has he been pretty effective in keeping this high-powered Roosevelt offense to 2 hits and 1 run, but especially coming out and throwing today after his 2 days of playing tennis the past 2 days.
Yeah, he and Matt Hanson have had some of the busiest week of anybody this year, with tennis on Monday, at least being here Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a bunt that's fouled back. Hanson has played in most of those doubleheaders and games. This is Kelly's first appearance of the week, or second appearance of the week, but then playing tennis yesterday and playing tennis on Friday and now coming back here today. That wears on no matter how young you are in the prime of growing up. That's still going to wear you out. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. That curveball that was able to stay back on. And so it's still 1-2.
And not only that, too, but especially with the fact that both of those 2 young men are seniors, and like you and I know, the last couple weeks of your senior year are very crazy in terms of final tests, graduation stuff, and it's a pretty hectic time for those 2. And just the fact that they were able to still be here and give the Govs some good innings on the diamond has been really impactful. It just shows the maturity and I don't know the other word I want to try and say, but just shows I don't know if I'd want to say athleticism, but the dedication. That's probably a better word.
There we go.
That these 2 young men are displaying.
Fouled back, and it remains at 2-2. I think they'll be sleeping in quite a bit tomorrow and finally get a day off before. And then those two guys will not be here on Tuesday because they will be at the ESD tennis meet in Huron. 2-2 pitch, ground ball left side. That's through for a base hit. We'll see if they send him. They will hold everybody up, station to station. Bases are now loaded with nobody out. And it's back to the top of the order. And we'll see again how long the leash is for Spencer Kelly, because this is his longest outing. He mostly goes through the order once, and that's about it. Now he's gone through the order twice, and Ben Ersfeld, the top of the order, number one man of the order, is back to the plate. And the bases are loaded with nobody out, and they will bring the infield all the way in. Still just a 1-0 game, so a ground ball right back to Spencer Kelly might be a good one here. That one's popped up, foul territory. Hunsley going after it, and it will land just foul. And out of play, 0-1.
John, I haven't been following the spring team as closely this year as I normally would be, just because I'm not playing for the team anymore. But who do the Govs play on Tuesday?
They will play Brookings on Tuesday. It's a 4 and 6 o'clock doubleheader.
Okay.
And then, or 4 o'clock in the second game to follow. And then Friday, Jefferson is in town. And then the following Tuesday, Mitchell will close out the season.
So I was going to say they could go, if you said Spencer Kelly is typically a once through the order type guy, they could go to Lincoln Keenol's, because I'm pretty sure he's eligible to throw today. But if they're playing Brookings on Tuesday, the Steve Gray, Dirk Campbell, Ryan Kruger, Landon Badger coaching staff might be saving him for Brookings, would be my guess.
Yeah, you'd have to stay fairly low in the pitch count, as the count is high now, 2-1, and that might be what they're kind of thinking, is if Spencer Kelly can get through potentially 5 innings and then bring in Keenol's for the 6th and 7th, potentially. I'm not sure what they're thinking, and not going to try and tell them how to think. 2-1 pitch. That was at the bottom of the zone. It's now 2-2.
I'll say, because that's above our pay grade, isn't it?
Yeah, it is above our pay grade. They're going, wait a second, there's a pay grade? The count is 2-2. Bases are loaded here with nobody out in the top of the 4th. Ben Ersfeld, top of the order. Looking for a strikeout here is Spencer Kelly. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, it's now 3-2. Nowhere to put Ersfeld, as it's been so far 6 hits allowed by Kelly, 3 in this inning. He's walked 1 and hit 2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That will be another man that is hit. That one hurt.
They get him right on the, looks like right on the wrist.
Yeah, I think it hit him right at the wrist.
That's a spot you never want to get hit at.
And that will score a run to make it 2-0. And it will bring Dirk Campbell out to talk with Spencer Kelly, as they've got to wait for Ersfeld to touch first base before Dirk can make his way out. And we'll see, Johnny Lyons, I believe, can throw, and that's who they're going to go to. All right, so we will step aside for a minute. We'll tell you all the changes here in just a moment. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
The count may change with every pitch, but what doesn't change is God's love for you. Come join us at Faith Lutheran Church to hear about the God who blesses us with athletic skill, meaningful relationships, and the peace and comfort that comes from His Son Jesus. You can worship on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. or on Sunday mornings at 8:30 or 11 a.m. Faith Lutheran Church is up the hill at 714 North Grand, and happy to support our athletes, their families, and our community.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
So it is now going to be Johnny Lyons on the mound for the Pierre Governors, with the bases loaded and nobody out. Matthew Hanson will move to third. Spencer Kelly will be at second. For Johnny Lyons, 4 2/3 innings. This is his 5th appearance of the season. He has given up 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, an ERA of 7.5, and a whip of 2.571, and a batting average of 286 against. And Ersfeld almost got hit by a ball coming back to the mound after he got hit by a pitch just a moment ago. But bases are loaded, nobody out. here in the top of the fourth. And Johnny Lyons will try and keep this a 2-0 deficit, although it's going to be very tough to make that happen. It would have to start with a ground ball, maybe right back to him, a strikeout. We'll see how Johnny Lyons can do. 6 hits allowed by Spencer Kelly, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He did hit 3 guys. He has given up 2 runs, but he is responsible for the other 3 that are on base. So before we can close the book on him. John Winkler here with Bennett Dean. He's gearing up for the Legion season, which is, again, coming up here in like
3 weeks?
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks from Tuesday. This coming Tuesday.
It's crazy.
And
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I was going to say there's going to be a lot of baseball all summer, but it should be a lot of fun. First pitch from Johnny Lyons, misses low for ball 1.
Like you said, John, I mean, you don't need a strikeout necessarily right here, but you definitely need a ball right at somebody. Maybe you can turn
nearly right back to him, and then it gets past Spencer Kelly out into the outfield, so 2 runs will come in to score. As the throw coming in from right field from Rounds is cut off, and it's now a 4-0 ball game, and it's first and third. Almost had it right at somebody.
So Johnny did what he was supposed to do there. He made him put the ball in play. I think it went under Spencer Kelly's glove, but almost a perfect situation of what you could ask for right there.
It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Dane Mediger, and now it's Jackson Grevengode as the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Runners at first and third with nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. And again, Pierre, to the first 3 innings of this game, just like it was to the first 4 innings of game number 1, we're able to hang with Roosevelt with a scoreless tie, but just couldn't take the lead. And now Roosevelt has opened things up to a 4-0 advantage with still nobody out in the top of the 4th inning. They've now got 7 hits, while the Governors are still going to be searching for their first one in the bottom of the 4th. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one will catch the bottom of the zone. A little bit on the outside, but it's now 2-1 count.
That's the thing. That's the thing with these metal bats, especially in the spring. All you need is one big inning, and the Governors certainly could put together that inning where they.
There's a blooper diving for it as Brecken Kruger can't come away with the catch. Another run will come in to score, an RBI single for Grevengode, and it's now a 5-0 lead here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, like I was saying, with metal bats, anything can happen. I mean, ball's going to travel a lot farther than they would be with wood. If you would have seen an inning like this maybe last year or a few years ago, you might be thinking, well, this game's probably not going to go our way, but like anything can happen with a metal bat.
Here's Marcus Phillips, who was hit by a pitch and also flew out to right field. Yeah, you're seeing the offense be more potent from a lot of these teams, and not by just walks and errors that are allowing the offense to jump up. It's guys putting the ball in play as a first pitch strike to Marcus Phillips. Although O'Gorman really struggling, last night came in with like a 220 batting average as a team and a 340 on base percentage. Not what you like to see, in a wood bat scenario, maybe a little bit not as bad, but with the metal bats, they struck out too much and haven't been able to put the ball in play. But that separates good teams from the average teams as it counts 0-2 to Marcus Phillips.
Is it just me, John, or does it seem like there's been more offense this year than there was even back to last summer? Because I feel like last summer, you'd see the occasional game where it'd be.
Right back to Lyons. He'll field it. The throw to third for 1. Back to first. And a tag, but no, it goes off of Brewer. Then it goes off the first base coach. And it's now first and third with 1 out. And that about turned into 2-run scoring. And the Governors nearly had a double play. Then nearly had 2 runs to score. Gave up 2 runs on that play. But instead, it ends up being now, actually, they didn't give up a run at all. It's still first and third. Still a 5-0 game, but there's 1 out. That was a wild play. It turns into a fielder's choice. Actually, ends up going as an error for Hanson, too, because the runner got to third base. As that one is popped up right side. Going into foul territory, and it will land foul. So it's a fielder's choice, which would be scored 1-5 for Mediger to be out for 1 out, and then ends up being an error charge to Hanson over at third base. as Grevengo got from second to third on the throw, although it could have gone for more than just one base if it didn't hit the first base coach.
Yeah, like I was saying, John, does it just me, or does it seem like the offense, especially this spring, has been a lot more high scoring? You know, last year, obviously the freshest thing in my mind was the state tournament. I mean, our first 2 state tournament games, the final scores were 2-1 and 6-3. Where we're seeing more games this spring. You know, like last night, 13-4, Governors win. I think Roosevelt beat Jefferson the other night, like 14-8. It just seems like it's been a lot more high scoring. You've seen a lot more high scoring games.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. That you're seeing the scores not be so low scoring. That one's popped foul out of play, and even with that, there's been less home runs that have been hit because that state tournament there was several home runs hit throughout the state tournament, including that Harrisburg, I believe it's Harrisburg and Brandon Valley, that just seemed like it was home run derby. And of course, you guys won a game with a 3-run homer in the first and a 3-run homer in the 8th. Yep. And oh yeah, by the way, you hit a 3-run homer to win the ball. It was a 3-run homer, wasn't it? That one's popped up.
It was.
That one will land fair. That will drive in another run, and it's now 6-0. And another bloop single for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. They now lead at 6-0.
But yeah, that game in the state tournament against Watertown was probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. Just not only with the walk-off home run, but you know, it just seemed like 2 teams that were just so evenly matched that day. You know, it really could have went either way.
I believe too in that game it ended up being a 6-3 game, but they had hit 2 home runs with a solo shot and a 2-run homer. So every run that scored in that game was off of a home run, which felt like a major league game because that's kind of how it feels in Major League Baseball now. If you don't get a home run, well, you don't score.
Exactly. And it was just crazy, too, because, I mean, they had, I think it was in the 7th or maybe even the 8th.
That one's off the bag over at third base. It's a fair ball. 1 run will come in to score. And the throw coming back into third base is going to be Byram as Phillips scores on the RBI single from Jamie Legg. And it's now a 7-0 ball game here in the top of the 4th inning. And the ball is finding a way through the hole and finding a bloop single, and they can just continue to get base hits. As now 1st and 3rd with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning, a 7-run inning. It's the 2nd time now in 2 games that Roosevelt has scored 7 times in an inning.
You know, this is definitely why you see Roosevelt as the top seed in the standings right now. I mean, they have a quality pitching staff like we saw in Game 1, and they've shown why they're the number 1 team, and they can put up runs in a hurry.
Count is 1-0 here to Isaac Adam, who singled home a run in his first at-bat of the inning. This is the now 11th man to come to the plate. It was a walk and then an RBI single. That one will get in the dirt. A good stop there from Hunsley. And the count's now 2-0. Runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. 7-0 lead for Roosevelt over Pierre.
Hopefully the Govs can get out of this without giving up any more runs and go get the bats going a little bit.
And they will be looking, ground ball can get you out of the inning here. It counts 2-1, and then with still half a game left to go, start chipping away at the 7-run lead.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna have that one swing of the bat that ties the game. Just hit balls hard, put balls in play. Usually when you do those 2 things, good things will happen. And maybe their pitcher's cold because it's been a long inning for the Riders, but I see he's throwing down the third base line right now, just trying to stay loose a little bit. So still, maybe he comes out cold and the Govs can answer back.
3-1 pitch is on the outside corner. That's taken for a strike, and the count is now 3-2. And now the Govs are in a danger spot here, as if they fall in this game, they'll go back to 500 at 10-10. And it doesn't get any easier with Brookings coming to town on Tuesday. That's upstairs. There'll be a walk, and the bases are now loaded here with 1 down in the top of the 4th inning. And again, with only 10 guys on the lineup, and Brady Getz being one of those would make 11 guys, you're obviously not going to play. So for Pierre, it turns into there's not a whole lot of options to go somewhere else with. Here's the first pitch to Hayden Brown as they'll swing and foul that one down the right field line. And it's 0-1. Pink shoes, pink cleats for Hayden Brown.
So other than I'm just trying to think about who could potentially throw. If potentially after Lions. You could go someone with a person like Keen Holes. Could Stolly throw?
We've not seen George Stalley throw at all yet this year. So, looking right now, that was a ground ball. There you go. There's a ground ball. Step on the bag at second for one. The throw to first is in time. And there is a 6-3 double play to finish out the inning here in the top of the fourth. But 7-run score in the fourth inning. And Roosevelt has opened up a touchdown lead over the Pierre Governors as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pierre area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
So it is the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Pierre Governors now down 7-0, as it will be for the Governors. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. George Stalley, followed by Lincoln Keenels and Gary Nedved. First pitch, and one out to, it will be Trevor Rounds that will hit for Gary Nedved, as the first pitch is over for strike one. John Winkler alongside Bennett Dean here in the booth with me, as Stalley will pop this one up, foul, and it will get out of play, barely out of play, and the count's now 0-2.
You know, I've been really impressed with Stalley so far in the few games I've been able to watch of this team. Just a freshman, he's been one of my favorite players to watch for this team. I mean, he's lightning fast, he's got great speed. He's handled pitching that he's seen particularly well. I mean, I think he had 3 hits yesterday.
Yeah, he ended up with 2 hits, 2 for 3, and then 0 for 5. But he had 6 hits in a game and a half in a doubleheader against Washington a couple weeks ago. He came into this day with a .429 batting average. That's pretty good for a freshman.
That is very good for a freshman. That's not very good for a freshman. That's very good for anybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a senior, junior, sophomore, it doesn't matter how old you are. That's a pretty good batting average to have in high school baseball. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Stalley swings and misses. Pitch in the dirt. They're going to throw it to first and retire Stalley to lead things off here at the bottom of the fourth. And we'll bring up Lincoln Keenels, who is looking for his first hits of the day. After he went 0 for 1 in game 1, he's 0 for 1 right now, as he popped out to the second baseman in his first trip to the plate. First pitch to Keenels. Misses for ball 1.
It'll be interesting to see how the Roosevelt pitcher attacks Keenels here. I mean, obviously, Link's one of the best hitters in the state. So it'll be interesting to see with a 7-run lead if he tries and attacks him, or if he tries to nibble and maybe make him roll over and get something like a ground ball or a fly out.
Count is 1-1 here to Keenels. That one will catch the top of the zone, and it's now 1-2. And so Keenels down the count, looking to be the first base runner here of this fourth inning. 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play, and it's now still 1-2. Be followed by Trevor Rounds to be his first at-bat of the ball game. And all of a sudden, if the Governors don't score here in this fourth inning, Roosevelt's within 3 runs of trying to get to a 10-run lead. That one's a 1-2 pitch to the dirt. Not a bad pitch there from Payne, but a good take from Lincoln Keenels, and the count is 2-2.
Keenels started his swing right there, but luckily Czech ended up holding back his swing and not going around on it.
2-2 pitch. That one's grounded foul down the third base line. That had an extra base hit labeled on it, but foul by a couple of feet. So we'll still do it again here at 2-2. Clouds are moving in. They're talking about some rain maybe being in the area by 5 o'clock.
Looks like we got some action in the Pierre bullpen. It looks like Staley's down there warming up in the pen.
There's the first of the ball game for the Pierre Governors as Keenels goes up the middle, and there's one on and one out. So we might see George Staley pitch for the first time here in 2022. And now here's Trevor Rounds. And this also would be a spot where maybe Spencer Easley would come in and pitch too, but after taking that comebacker off the leg, not in any hurry to get him back out on the mound, or at least back into game play. Make sure that he is fully healed before getting back to playing again.
I talked to Spencer a little bit yesterday, and he said, I was just asking him a little bit about the injury, and he said they originally thought just the way the ball hit his leg, he made it sound like I don't know who they were, or he was referring to as they, but maybe even a broken leg just because of how hard the ball hit his leg.
Yeah, and it was a scary moment when he got hit by that comebacker. As the count's 0-2, there's a swing and a miss by Rounds, and he is down on strikes. There's 2 down, but that was the scariest part about it all because he was in a lot of pain, and rightfully so. But when he was moving around, his leg was not moving at all. So that's where I thought maybe it's just so much of a dead leg that he just had no feeling in it, and that seems like that was probably the case. But thankfully he is okay, and just out of caution has not played since then.
I think what he told me yesterday was just a bruise on the leg. So that is a very good situation, the news you want to hear if you're Spencer Easley or anyone associated with Pierre baseball.
It's definitely a shiner. Saw it on the leg a couple days ago or yesterday, and his one that is very noticeable on the right leg for Spencer Easley. Counts 0-2 here to Grayson Hunsley. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. 1 on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul tip into the midst of leg, and that will retire the side. 3 strikeouts, inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 4 completes, it is a 7-0 lead for Roosevelt. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the parts you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
So George Staley is now on the mound here for the Pierre Governors as he works into the top of the 5th inning with a lead at 7-0 for Roosevelt. And this will be the first time that we've seen George Staley on the mound. Lyons goes back to third base. Hanson will move to the outfield, out and left. And Spencer Kelly stays over at second base. So not a whole lot of movement between the Governors on the change. But, yeah, George Staley has not thrown yet at all this season, so he is making his Pierre Governor debut. And obviously as a freshman, was not part of the team as an 8th grader, would not be a part of the team as a 7th or 6th grader either. And so this will be his first chance to throw for the Pierre Governors here this season. And we'll see what he can do in low-pressure situation, because while it's not too far to reach, and we saw the Mets come back from a 7-run deficit in the 9th inning against the Phillies in Major League Baseball. 7 runs is not out of the question, but you're not sitting there trying to protect a lead of any kind. This is go out, throw strikes, get us out of the inning, get us back in the dugout as pretty much as quick as possible. As Danny Lesher, the number 9 man, will lead things off. Be 9-1-2 here for Roosevelt. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1.
Well, and like you said, John, Staley's really has nothing to lose in this situation. It's not like he's protecting a lead of any sorts. If he throws well, you found another arm that you can add to your bullpen. If he doesn't throw well in this outing, it's an outing. You're down 7. Maybe comes back next year and is a valuable arm for you next year.
Yeah, and he's not going to come out of the lineup because of his bat.
Nope.
And so he goes back and plays the field if he doesn't have the strong outing. But yeah, like you said, if he, Brecken Kruger had that on Wednesday. He came in relief and had 5 2/3 innings, and he threw fantastic and earned himself another spot in the and going to be a guy that they can rely on down the stretch. Counts 3-1 to Danny Lesher, the leadoff man.
From what it sounds like, I wasn't here I was here for a little bit of I caught the tail end of the game on Wednesday against Rapid City Stevens, but from what it sounds like Breck threw it really, really, really well. Like you said, not easy coming into the game after your starting pitcher gets drilled in the leg. You're thinking Eastland's probably going to give you anywhere from 2 to 4 innings, and after a situation like that, I was really proud of Brecken for staying ready for his number to be called, and provided a really good outing for this team.
First pitch to Ben Ersfeld misses for ball 1. As he went 5 2/3 innings at Brecken Kruger, allowing 6 hits. Gave up 2 runs, one of them earned. As that pitch is taken for a strike, and it's even at a ball and a strike. He did not walk a man, and he had 1 strikeout. The Governors had just 1 strikeout, but only 1 walk in that 8-4 win over Rapid City Stevens on Wednesday. Been a little bit different story in this doubleheader here against the Roosevelt Rough Riders in terms of walks. That pitch is over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2.
You and I ended up talking to Ryan a little bit after the game on Wednesday, and like we said, you don't need to strike everybody out. You don't need to blow it by guys. You just got to make guys get themselves out, and that's exactly what Brecken did the other day. He made the Stevens hitters. Stevens hitters get themselves out and threw really well.
That's a fly out to center field. The line shot right to Brecken Kruger. There's one down, and to bring up Dane Mediger, the second baseman. Actually, it's going to be number 11 that will come in and hit. And try and make sure we get the right number. So the name is going to be Alex Brosnahan that will hit for Dane Mediger. So he will have another opportunity to pinch hit like he did in the game 1. First pitch misses for ball 1. The runner takes off for second. The throw will be just a tad late and taking second on a pitch that barely got away from Hunsley at all. He ends up at second now with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Looks like we got some action in the Roosevelt pen. I can't really tell what number he is, but maybe we see a new pitcher for the Riders this half of the inning.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's outside. It's now 2-0. Yeah, my eyes are nowhere near being good, so if you don't see the number, there's no way I'm going to see the number out there in left field.
It looks like maybe number 3, I think. I can't really tell from the front of his jersey, but I can tell when he turns to throw on the back. I think it's number 3.
Which would be Dane Mediger, and that's maybe why Brosnahan is hitting for him so he can warm up. I see a big yellow blob on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now too. But I think it's definitely a single-digit number because I don't see a 1, a 2, or a 3 anywhere in there. So it's definitely a single-digit number.
Well, it's got anywhere from 1 through 9. So
1 through 9, okay. So
doesn't narrow it down too much.
We have a 1 in 9 chance of potentially getting it right.
3-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and the count is now full to Alex Brosnahan, who is hitting for Dane Mediger, who might be the pitcher coming up. He's making his way back to the dugout now. He's probably not going to turn around and walk backwards for us. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Brosnahan. Swing and a foul tip, and he stays alive at 3-2.
So, John, I was going to ask you this. So I noticed last night when I came to the game against O'Gorman that a lot of the guys on the team were wearing eye black. Did they just start that last night, or they've been wearing that for a lot of the year?
I think they just started that because I did not notice it until last night either. So this might have been the first time that they decided to do something like that. As the 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4.
Well, and that's the thing. Baseball is all about superstition. They won both games with the eye black last night. They thought again. Hey, let's rock it again. Maybe we get to go 4-0 on the weekend.
You can't not do it if you go 2-0 doing that. If you go 0-2, yeah, then you can not do it again. But
maybe you change something to something like arm sleeves or something.
Yeah, here's
or
Jackson Grevengoed. You an eye black guy?
I did. I wore it when I was younger. As you get older, no one just. I think. Not only did people not want to buy it, but they also didn't want to deal with the fact that it might run with the sweat and stuff on your face. But I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't necessarily hate it, but it wasn't really my thing. What about you when you were playing?
I don't think I ever wore eye black. Counts 2-0. I think I tried one time when I was probably 8 years old, and it didn't work out so well for me.
I don't really understand how guys like Bryce Harper and those guys can wear it all the time, but
I can understand where it comes from, mostly because now I have sunglasses that I can actually wear that's prescription. As a 2-1 pitch, there's a ground ball to the left side. Keno's will field, throws all the way across to first base. It gets behind, it gets away from Matthew Brewer. One run will come in to score, and it's now a 8-0 game. And that scenario probably for Keno's would have been better to go to third base. I think Lyons was going to the bag, and I don't know if he actually was going to the bag or not, but with runners at first and second, the force out was there at third. But instead it goes as an error against Lincoln Keno's, and a run does come in to score, so it's now 8-0. But when there's a lot of snow on the ground, I've noticed that I can put something or put my hand right below my eyes, create a little black surface right there, and it actually helps out a lot. I was like, man, I've just never understood why eye black was so good, why people would want to use it instead of wearing sunglasses, and then it all kind of made sense.
Well, that's the thing for me too, is like I'm a notoriously very heavy sweater when I play sports or do any sort of physical activity, so especially like when if I try to like wipe some sweat, then I end up getting some eye black on my fingers, so that's why I was never really a big fan of it, but I definitely do think it has. Obviously you see guys still in the MLB wear it, and so it's definitely a good look. But I was never a super big fan of it for that reason.
Count is 2-1 here to Marcus Phillips, or was Marcus Phillips spot
number 14? As
instead it is Jordan Kisner that is hitting for Phillips. As the count is now 3-1. To Kisner. And in that first game, Kisner grounded out to the first baseman in his lone trip to the plate. That one's popped up foul, and that will miss just to the left of. I don't know if you saw during the first game. There's a foul ball that hit the wall right above the window.
Really?
If it would have been lower, it would have been it could have gone through the door probably if I'd have missed it. But if it would have been lower, it would have been right on target for a foul ball to come through the window. 3-2 pitch. That's a line shot. That's going to get down the left field line, and it's going to be fair. Rounding second, heading for third is Grevengoed, and the RBI single is now 9-0. And Roosevelt is one run away. It won't end the ball game, but it will put the 10-run rule into effect, with the Governors needing to then at least score however many runs to get back within 9 to keep the ball game alive. Here's Braden Byram, who is 1 for 2. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. Also the flip shades.
Oh, the flip shades. Yep.
I like Nolan Arenado, I see him wear that sometimes, but there's not a whole lot of guys that wear it as much anymore. There's a line shot out towards right field. That one is caught, but then was dropped. They're going to say it's on the transfer on the throw, so it's 2 outs. And it will be now Jamie Legg that will come to the plate. And the Governors can't get out of this inning and keep this still going through the 6th inning for sure, whether they score a run or not, because it's a 9-0 game right now. You're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station as it's 4 o'clock, and Jamie Legg will pop the first pitch up to right field. And the rounds moving over. He'll make the catch, and we will for sure at least have 6 innings as George Staley gets out of it. 2-run score in the inning on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We head to the Bottom of the fifth is a 9-0 lead for the Roosevelt Rough Riders over the Pierre Governors. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Verdig Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Verdig Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Verdig Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Verdig Electric, 224-8684.
It is the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Pierre Governors down 9-0 to the Roosevelt Rough Riders. John Winkler alongside Bennett Dean here. Try and open things up here. There we go. Make the YouTube a little bit lighter for you watching on KCCR Sports. As it's getting a little bit darker, they're talking about some maybe rain coming through, which will be beneficial to the area. But how about maybe waiting till after we're done with the ball game? But potential of some rain here to come through as Johnny Lyons will lead things off. 6, 7, 8 Lyons, Brewer, and Kelly. First pitch swinging for Lyons. That one's out towards left field, and the left fielder going back and will make the catch on the run. And Lesher, he was playing very far in. He turns into a great catch, but I think he'll play a little bit farther back next time Johnny Lyons comes to the plate.
That ball was hit very well. I thought that when that ball was hit, I thought maybe that ball was going to the wall, but looks like it got caught up in the wind a little bit and was just able to let the left fielder come in underneath it and catch it.
As the first pitch is fouled back by Matthew Brewer. So there's one out, 0-1 count here. And Bennett, you and I were talking just a little bit ago about the scoring in high school baseball. Final score between Harrisburg and Mitchell in Game 1, 15-10. Harrisburg won. But I think
Did Timon Long hit any home runs today for the Tigers?
Let's see. Timon Long, he did hit a home run. Muncie also hit a home run. The top of the seventh inning for the Harrisburg Tigers turned into a hit fest, apparently. And also getting hit. Because Harrisburg, without an error in the inning, scored 11 runs and won it 15-10. That one's off of the pitcher in Payne. He'll pick it up. The throw to first is not going to be in time. That'll be a base hit for Matthew Brewer, as Payne off the glove and unable to recover in time. So a base hit for Matthew Brewer, and there's one on and one out.
You know, John, I've been really impressed with the bench guys so far today. They don't look. They're playing the number one team in the state, but they haven't really looked intimidated by these guys. I mean, they're going out there trying to play their best ball, and I've been impressed with them so far.
So the first pitch is over for a strike, and just to kind of follow up on the Harrisburg game, Muncie hit a grand slam to give Harrisburg an 11-9 lead in the top of the seventh inning. There's a ground ball, underhand flip to second for one. No chance to get Kelly at first. So it goes down as a fielder's choice for Spencer Kelly. The on-base percentage still stays at 1,000, but there's now two down. And it will bring up Brecken Kruger. But boy, 11-run seventh inning.
Mitchell make any errors?
No errors in the inning. They're down. They're up 9-4 going into the top of the seventh. And so, as there's a foul ball as out of play, it's 0-1. Again, I don't think there's any question that Harrisburg and Pierre are on the same level. That obviously Pierre, they won one of three games against Harrisburg, and they nearly won 2 of 3 against the Harrisburg Tigers. There's a foul tip into the mid, and it's now 0-2. If Harrisburg can go for 11 runs in one inning without any errors, there's like 3 guys that got hit in the inning, but it's not the question to score 10 runs plus in an inning. 0-2 pitch. outside. It's now 1-2.
That's one of the great things about baseball. Whether you're playing with metal or wood bats, you're never out of it until that final out is made. Anything can happen. Game of baseball does some crazy things sometimes, and you definitely have seen many teams come down from 6, 7, 8 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th or the bottom of the 9th.
Breckenkruger will fly out to right field, and that will end things here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 6th inning. It is the Pierre Governors down 9-0 to the Roosevelt Rough Riders. You listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-O-Lator fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-O-Lator fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-O-Lator Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota is serving the central South Dakota community and beyond with a great selection of used vehicles. Local trades and program vehicles are available. New Toyotas and new Fords are arriving and selling before they even hit the lot. So don't wait. Stop in and find out what's coming. If you've been thinking about ordering a new Ford, stop in and sit down with one of our sales specialists today. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com.
Isaac Adam will lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning. And first pitch swinging right to Johnny Lyons on a 1-hop. Throw to first is offline. Matthew Brewer comes off the bag, catches the ball, steps back on the bag, and the leadoff man is retired on 1 pitch here to open up the top of the 6th, as it's a 9-0 lead for the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
That's another person I've been impressed with, John, so far over the 4 games I've seen this weekend has been Johnny Lyons. I mean, yesterday he hit the ball really well, and he's been playing really good defense over there at third base. Obviously I never got the chance to play with Johnny, but he looks like a really good ball player.
And depending on how the summer goes, I don't know how the rosters are going to shake out, but Johnny Lyons, probably good potential to be on the varsity, the senior legion team.
No kidding, especially with guys being injured. Johnny, the way Johnny's been playing, Johnny could be locked up starting spot right now.
Yeah, count is 1-1 here to Hayden Brown, the center fielder, as he pops this one up on the infield. Lincoln Keenel's coming over. He'll take charge, make the catch as he comes all the way over to where the second baseman, first baseman probably were at, but he'll make the catch. There's 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning, and it brings up Danny Lesher with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. So, again, the Governors will host the Brookings Bobcats on Tuesday. First game's at 4 o'clock. The second game to follow.
So you'll probably see a pitching matchup that day, or not matchup, but you'll probably see the Govs roll out Lincoln Keenholz and I don't know who else, because you had Zabel throw.
Oh, and beating it out is Danny Lesher over at first base on a ground ball to Lincoln Keenholz. It's a base hit. That one was a close play, and if you had Major League Baseball, you're telling them to put the headset on and talk to us up here.
I say go to instant replay. But I say, yeah, Tuesday for the Govs, you'll probably see Lincoln Keenholz on the mound for at least one of the games, and then game 2 will probably be Jackson Edmond, Christian Bush type game would be my guess, wouldn't it?
That was popped foul, and it lands in foul territory. I would think that's probably true. Maybe Jaden Wiebe throws game 2. Maybe he gets a start.
Cade Kaiser maybe too.
Cade Kaiser, Breckenkruger would be available. All these guys would be available on Tuesday. You'll have to make sure the pitch counts are good. But guys that pitched today, I think almost all of them, like Cade Kaiser and Jaden Wiebe, would be available. That one's upstairs. It's now 1-1. Jet Zabel unavailable, being 3 days rest. He'd have to wait 1 more day, so he wouldn't be able to pitch until Friday again. And then when you get to next Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, as there's a swing and a miss, it's now 1-2. That's where things get real interesting, because you want to make sure everybody's ready to go. So you're going to have to go, but you got to win those 2 games against Mitchell, because those are big seed points. Yep. So you don't lose and you're out and your season's over, as there's strike 3 taken, and that will end the inning here in the top of the third. You won't lose to end the season on Tuesday against Mitchell, but you want to make sure that you're ready to go for Saturday, because that is where it means the most, on Saturday the 21st in the region round. That is a scoreless inning for George Staley on the mound. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 5.5, still 9-0 for Roosevelt. You listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota is serving the central South Dakota community and beyond with a great selection of used vehicles. Local trades and program vehicles are available. New Toyotas and new Fords are arriving and selling before they even hit the lot. So don't wait. Stop in and find out what's coming. If you've been thinking about ordering a new Ford, stop in and sit down with one of our sales specialists today. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com.
Hey, let's go. We're going to be late for the baseball game.
I know, my air conditioner is letting me down like our middle reliever last game. I have to give someone a call.
That's easy. Call in the closer, AirTech Heating and Cooling. They use Coleman brand heaters and air conditioners, and like our team's closer, AirTech with Coleman products give us quality and dependability we can trust to win the game.
You're right. I'm going to the bullpen. AirTech, I need you.
As we welcome you back here at bottom of the 6th inning, and Pierre Governors down 9-0, and they will have 4, 5, and 6. Trevor Rounds, Grayson Hunsley. Actually, we're going to have Matt Hanson. How about the top of the order, not 4, 5, and 6? What am I? Oh, I'm all over the place here.
It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes.
Matthew, some more than others. Matthew Hanson, George Staley, and then Lincoln Keenel will be the first 3 hitters here for the Pierre Governors in the bottom of the 6th inning. Appreciate the kind words. Bennett Dean here in the booth with me. As the first pitch is over for strike 1, at this point you might as well just stick it out for the rest of the game. You started in the 3rd inning, might as well just stick it out. Here for the long haul.
You know, John, what you were saying before the end of the last half inning, you were talking about the Mitchell Pierre game in the following Tuesday, I think the 17th. That could be a very well bullpen day for both teams. You know. I don't know what the number, like the pitch count would be for both teams, but have guys ready to go, get them there's 3 days rest, and then ready for the region tournament that Saturday.
Yeah, because if you throw enough, you don't want to throw point past 80 pitches where you have to come out, or when you come out of the game you have to be out for 4 days, because then you're not available in the region round, and that's the ultimate goal for both those teams, is then to have guys ready to go on Saturday for 2 games to be able to win the first one and then go win the second one. And that's where it becomes very, but if they had played Monday, doesn't really matter, because everybody then would be available no matter what. But Tuesday, you'd have the 4th day would then be on Saturday, as it counts 1-1 to George Staley after Matt Hanson flew out to left field to open up the bottom of the 6th.
You know, John, and like we were talking about, This is a Pierre team that could win their region. I mean, you obviously will probably throw Lincoln Keenholz or Brady Getz in game 1, and the other one will probably take game 2. And then you have the pitching depth behind them to potentially win a region tournament.
As George Staley rips one out to center field, it got past Hayden Brown. He took a bad angle at it, rolled all the way to the wall, and Staley's got a stand-up triple, and the Governors are looking to score their first run now here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Lincoln Keenholz will come to the plate.
You know, John, this team kind of reminds me of the 2018 Pierre Govs. I think it was the year before you got here, so it would have been my freshman year.
There's a line shot. That's a base hit in front of the left fielder, and Lincoln Keenholz drives in the game's first run for Pierre, and it's now 9-1.
This team kind of reminds me of my freshman year team, or the 2018 squad. Obviously, that team had Peyton Zabel, who went on to be drafted and is now pitching at Texas State. But I just remember the region tournament that year. I think we were the 7 or 8 seed. We played Sturgis in the first round. And it was kind of funny because that region tournament, for whatever reason, there was like rain somewhere where we were supposed to go. So we ended up playing the first game in Chamberlain. And then the second game got moved to Ronkin Field in Sioux Falls, Augustanis Field. And I remember that first game we threw Garrett Stout. And Garrett threw about as well as anyone, Garrett probably threw one of the best games he's ever thrown. I think he complete game shutout, struck out 12 or however many he had, and then Peyton's able through Game 2 of the region championship, and we won that like 4-1. So this team definitely could be on that path where, you know, they probably won't be hosting the region tournament, but they can very well go on the road and win the region tournament.
As Round strikes out, there's now 2 down, and it brings up Grayson Hunsley with a runner on first and 2 away. And I think everybody in Pierre would be more than okay with that, to see something like that happen. And for this Governor team, and really while this weekend and while this Saturday has not gone well for the Governors, but you saw on Friday what this Governor team can do. And you win your first game, you know, and that's the other thing is where you think about, you know, do you save Keenels for Game 2, throw Brady Getz in Game 1, or do you throw Lincoln Keenels Game 1, Brady Getz in Game number 2? As there's a ground ball to the second baseman. Now it's an air charge to the second baseman, Brosnahan, as he misplayed it. And Lincoln Keenels will get his way to third and will extend the inning now for Johnny Lyons to come to the plate, who's flown out to the left fielder twice. But the good thing and the bad thing, and I think most teams would take it, is that if you don't win Game 1, one of your starting pitchers is going to be left out, where you're saying, well, this guy is our ace, because I think Keenels and Getz have kind of shown that they're 1A and 1B. And so now you turn into who do you throw first and who do you try and throw second as the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Johnny Lyons.
Well, and like you were saying too, I mean, you could go a bunch of different ways too, because you could either go really whatever option you choose is not going to be a bad one, because if, let's say, you throw Link in Game 1 and Link, you know, for whatever reason doesn't have his stuff that day, you could counter with Jet Zapel, a Spencer Kelly, a Jaden Weeby, a Cade Kaiser, and you'd still give yourselves a good shot to win that first game and have Brady Getz go Game 2, or vice versa.
That one's lined up the middle. That's off of the pitcher in Grotenhouse, and it's going to be an infield single for Johnny Lyons. It's now 9-2 with runners at first and second. They will come and check on the pitcher, make sure that he's okay. But Lyons got his first hit, and it's an RBI single. And it's now first and second. He seems to be okay. That one might have got more off the glove. And, yeah, you make the point, too, with Jet Zabel. And you look at some of these other guys, Zabel being one of them, and even what Gary Nedved did yesterday. But Christian Bush and Jackson Edmond, boy, there's a lot of good relievers in a one-game, two-game set. It turns into you have a lot of options to go with. And if one guy doesn't work, then the other guy can come in and can try and throw strikes. And you hope that everybody's on their A game, but if not, maybe the leashes are going to be short on that Saturday. But that's the fun part about this team, is that they have the opportunity to make that happen.
Exactly, and I think that's been a real credit to not only the high school coaching staff, but Peyton Zabel and Coach White as well. I mean, with the post-8 side of things, a couple of years ago when Peyton came back from after his first year of college, he really emphasized developing more pitchers, and we've seen over the last few years how deep the Pierre pitching staff has been and how many different guys could beat you on any given day.
Matthew Berg grounds out to the shortstop in Ersfeld to end the inning. 2-run score on 3 hits, 1 error, and two men left on base. We head to the top of the 7th. It is now a 9-2 score between Pierre and Roosevelt. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, top of the 7th inning, Pierre Governors down 9-2. John Winkler here alongside Bennett Dean as we head into the final regulation inning. Governors would have to hold Roosevelt here to no runs and then try and score 7 in the bottom of the 7th to keep the ball game alive. As it is 2-3 and 4 for the Roosevelt Rough Riders here in the 7th inning. As Brosnahan to lead things off in the top of the 7th inning. When Bennett, you and I were just talking about it before we during the commercial break, coming up at 7 o'clock tonight here on KCCR, we have Memphis and Golden State, Game 3 of that series, tied 1-1. And then Game 4 tomorrow between, I don't remember now who they...
Is it Phoenix-Dallas?
It is Phoenix-Dallas, yes, and that's a 2-1 series with Dallas winning yesterday, correct?
Yeah, Dallas did win yesterday. I don't know the final score. I haven't really been watching that much of the NBA playoffs, with finals this past week for college and just the NFL draft. I haven't really been able to sit down and watch a full-length game yet. I mean, obviously I watched a little bit, but I mean, the way I've been...
No LeBron in the playoffs, so...
You really had to bring that up? I could bring up the Blues being down 2-1, but I won't.
The Brosnahan flies out to Brecken Kruger, and now Kruger gets another fly ball from Grevengoed, and that will be 2 quick outs here in the top of the 7th for George Staley. But I will say one thing. The Blues have won one more game in the playoffs than LeBron did this year. So
hey, I mean, you got me there. I can't really come back. But this, for the listeners out there, if you guys don't know, obviously I'm a very big LeBron James fan. So even though I wouldn't really consider myself a Lakers fan, but definitely a big LeBron supporter. But my second favorite player of all time has always been Chris Paul. So this postseason, I'm rooting for the Suns.
First pitch was a strike to Jordan Kisner, and that one will be high for ball 1 to Kisner, as the count is 1-1, just to kind of set the stage of how big of a fan Bennett Dean is, and that was popped up to center field. We're going to have to wait till the bottom of the 7th to give you that story. All 3 outs. Brecken Kruger has tied a record that will never be broken. He records all 3 outs on 3 fly balls. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 9-2. Governors need a 7-run rally. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified. Call True Green, 882-0643.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Governors down 9-2 to the Roosevelt Rough Riders, and the Pierre Governors are going to try and channel the New York Mets in this inning. Spencer Kelly lead things off, followed by Brecken Kruger and Matt Hanson. And I say that, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the New York Mets came back from a 7-run deficit in the 9th inning, ended up taking the lead and winning it in the bottom of the 9th. Here, the Governors would have to take the lead and win it here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Spencer Kelly is outside for ball 1.
Didn't they do all of that with 2 outs too?
I don't believe it was all with 2 outs, but I think they did tie the game up with 2 outs.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, there was a couple of base hits and runs came into score before that second out was recorded. That one is inside of Kelly. It's now 2-0. Go back to last inning, talking about Bennett Dean being a huge LeBron fan. Everybody was in here. It was a triangular during the summer last year, as that's a strike, and it's now 2-1. But basically the whole team was in here, and somehow, I say somehow in quotations because somebody was trying to get Bennett Dean fired up. He's talking about LeBron and threw a LeBron and Jordan reference and an argument in there. And Bennett was starting to engage in the conversation, and Coach White was standing behind me, and he heard just the words LeBron and Jordan. He said, yeah, I'm not going to get involved with that conversation. I'm going to get out of here. 2-2 pitch is outside, and it's now 3-2. He knew it wasn't going to end well for either side, for LeBron fan and Benedine, or the probably more so of a Jordan fan just trying to get Benedine fired up. So if you, not saying you should do this, but if you ever want Benedine to get fired up, there's a swing and a miss by Kelly. He's down on strikes, and there's one out in the bottom of the 7th. If you ever want to get Benedine fired up, just have some kind of Michael Jordan stat that's better than LeBron, and things will escalate very quickly from there.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, like back to the whole thing, I've been the last few years when I have, because obviously with me being a LeBron fan, I'm very much on I'm very much on the side that LeBron is the best basketball player of all time. Where that's a lot of people probably think I'm in the minority on that one, but I've learned to defend myself pretty well with the Jordan supporters out there. I'm not saying I would win every argument, but I can hold my own, and I can win the few that I need to.
Brady Getz will step to the plate. First pitch is over for strike one. Breckenkrieger ground out to the third baseman and Byram, so there's now 2 down. The Governors have to have a 7-run rally, and it's all going to start with Brady Getz. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Getz swings and grounds it to the left side, fielded by the shortstop, bobbled. The high throw. Brady Getz is on first base. The ball will get all the way back into the infield, and Getz will find his way at second base. Brady Getz, it will go down as an error, but Brady Getz first and probably only at bat of the entire season. He ends up at second base. His hands are on his knees. He's probably out of breath right now, but an air charge to the shortstop in Ersfeld, and the game does continue. And all you need is just one simple thing to go your way. It's still a long way to go, and as you talked about too, Bennett, after the 4th inning, that you can't get all 7 runs back in one swing. You're not going to get the 7-run deficit back in one swing, but what you can do is get yourself on base to bring the next guy up and just keep passing the line down all the way through to try and tie the ball game up. First pitch misses for ball 1 to George Stalley. There's a ground ball to the left side, fielded by Ersfeld this time. The throw to first is right on the money, and it is safe as the ball was dropped by the first baseman. The Roosevelt Rough Riders are almost all on the field because the game was over, but it's back-to-back errors. This one will be charged to the first baseman and Adam, as that was a throw that was right on the money, and dropping it was Adam. So now here's Lincoln Kienholz. So back-to-back errors. There's a chance to extend the ball game.
Well, especially too as a pitcher, I wouldn't really consider myself a great pitcher, but as a guy who can throw if need to or if need be, plays like that, those can get into your head if you're a pitcher. Maybe you lose a little confidence that your defense can't make the routine play, and you start missing the zone a little bit. Or when you finally do hit your spot in the zone, maybe it's down the middle, and a guy like Lincoln Kienholz puts that out in the left or right center gap for a double. Those 2 plays right there could crack this open and give the Governor some life if Lincoln were to get on.
1-1 pitch. That one's off the glove of the third baseman. A throw across and picked out at first base, and that will retire the side. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders will get the doubleheader sweep of the Pierre Governors, as it nearly was a 3rd error of the inning. But no runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. That ends the ball game. A 9-2 win for the Roosevelt Rough Riders in game number 2. As we'll step aside for 2 minutes to come back and wrap it up from Hyde Stadium. Listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Did you ever hear the real story about the old woman who lived in a shoe? Who had so many children she didn't know what to do? Well, in the story, she wasn't given much credit. Believe me, she knew what to do all right. She called my mom, Tara, at Kathy Sunshine Properties. She told my mom she wanted a house with 5 bedrooms and a large yard with room to run. Tara found her the perfect house and sold the shoe to a one-legged basketball player.
For your happily ever after, give me a call at Kathy Sunshine Properties, 605-224-5588. That's 224-5588. Visit contactkathy.com. or stop by our new location at 301 West Capitol Avenue in Pierre.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. You know, I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. You'll find a great selection of quality new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take good care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and body shop, along with a friendly financing team that'll do their best to get you into your next new or pre-owned vehicle with financing that fits your budget. Wagner Auto is your local, family-owned, full-service dealership in Pierre. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, as we wrap things up here from Hyatt Stadium, as the time of the ball game was an hour and 58 minutes, as it was a 9-2 win for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. 7 runs in the 4th inning, and then another 2 in the 5th. That was the only runs that were scored in the ball game for Roosevelt, but that 7-run inning was the difference maker, as the Governors scored 2 in the 6th. That's all they got. 9 runs, 12 hits, 4 errors, and 10 men left on base for Roosevelt. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base for the Pierre Governors, as they are swept in the doubleheader, 12-2 and 9-2. John Winkler here with Bennett Dean. Well, Bennett, I get to ask your thoughts here of the doubleheader sweep for Roosevelt over the Pierre Governors.
You know, I thought the Govs played really well, or played pretty good baseball today. I mean, they had 2 bad innings in both games that kind of got away from them. But other than that, I mean, they were right there with Roosevelt for most of the 2 games today. So I mean, just gotta. If I'm Pierre this next week before Tuesday's game, you know, you just got to clean some stuff up. You know, not walk and not hit as many guys when you're in the field, and you know, just clean up the defense a little bit. And you're right there with the top echelon teams in the state right now.
As the Governors are now 10-10 in the season, but they got 6 games left to go, and 2 big games on Tuesday against Brookings, a doubleheader against Jefferson. Then the following Tuesday will be against Mitchell. All 6 of them are very, very important. 4 of the 6 are against teams that are above you in the standings, and you got to make sure you win the 2 games against Jefferson, who you lost to earlier. But this Governor team, this is a stretch where they end up going 5-4 in those 9 games this week, and they want to continue to be. They probably want to go 6-0 to finish out the season. But for Pierre, it's going to be road games, a road game on that region round on Saturday, and just going to be you got to grind out the wins here to finish out the season and look to see where you're at the end of the year.
Exactly, and like you said, you know, these 6 games are very important for the Govs the rest of the year, and especially, I mean, all 6 are, like you said, all 6 are very winnable. I mean, you got 2 conference. Well, I mean, there's not really necessarily conference in baseball, but 2 ESD teams in Mitchell and Brookings. I mean, 2 teams that you have a little bit of rivalries with both of them, just because, I mean, like with all the other sports, they're in the same conference, so. I mean, I know the boys are definitely going to be fired up and ready to play those 2 games. And then Jefferson, you know, first-year program, a little bit down, but that's a game. Those 2 games are also games you can win, and you can't really afford to lose those 2.
Governors will be at home against Brookings on Tuesday. That'll be a 4 o'clock first pitch. They'll be on the air about 3:40 with 4 o'clock first pitch with the second game to follow here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Hey, appreciate you joining me here.
Thanks, John.
Been fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
Make your radio debut here, or at least broadcasting debut. You've been on the radio. I've interviewed you a couple times, but you've been on the first time being in the broadcast booth. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. But, yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. You know, like Blake did earlier, dedicate this broadcast to my dad, you know, your partner for the last 3 years. And I know he's probably looking down right now and smiling from ear to ear. So
Absolutely, 100% that he's doing that right now because it's fun. It was fun to have Blake the last couple of times, and it's fun to have you along, and hopefully there's probably a dean. Well, I got to get Bradley now on the radio.
Bradley's actually coming home this weekend for Mother's Day, so if there had been a game tomorrow, maybe you could have completed the trifecta and got all three of us.
We'll have to see what Bradley's up to here at some point over the summer and maybe get him up here for.
Do we go to Mitchell this summer?
That would have to look at that schedule again. I think we do, but
I was thinking maybe when we go to Mitchell, he hops on the broadcast. Who knows?
Hey, I'm giving the call out to Bradley Dean right now. He's going to join me at some point this summer, if not spring, but summer, to enjoy some baseball and enjoy a broadcast with me up here. So that will wrap things up for us, though, here from Heinz Stadium and the doubleheader sweep of the Roosevelt Rough Riders over the Pierre Governors. They win 12-2 in Game 1, 9-2 in Game number 2. Thanks to Drew McIntyre back at the station. As Bennett Dean, John Winkler here. The final scores: Roosevelt wins Game 1 12-2, and they win Game 2 9-2. As we say so long from Heinz Stadium.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Pierre Governor Baseball has been brought to you in part by Bank West, B&B Equipment, Wegner Auto, Fisher Rounds and Associates, and All Around Graphics. Governor Baseball is also brought to you by Ferding Electric, AirTech Heating and Cooling, Kruger Contracting, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Avera, and the Oahe YMCA. And by Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, First Dakota National